Please describe your job title and primary duties.
At Cinemark, well, there's three different job titles. There's box office, there's like concession, and then there's like an usher or an usher B. And usher B, they usually are the ones who at the theater go upstairs and check the projectors, change the films, and make sure that everything going properly with the movie from upstairs, just dealing with like the projectors and the screens and everything. But other than that, like they usually have to be a certain age due to that, and because it requires being by yourself most of the time. And they kind of got rid of with that because it's mostly everything's like automatic now. So at the movie theater, you usually do one of the other three. In the box office, that's more of selling the tickets, doing refunds if people need those, and just handling upfront the customers before they actually enter into the movie theater. Then there's the concession stand where they buy their popcorn or candy or drinks or anything like that. And then the usher has a job where throughout the shift there's like a crew of ushers, and they alternate from just doing theater checks and cleaning up theaters in between movies, or doing lobby checks, restroom checks, make sure everything's clean. And then for 2 hours, each usher's supposed to rotate. Every 2 hours they rotate so that they stand on post, and then at the post is where people come back and hand their tickets. They rip them, direct them to their movie, and show them which way to go, make sure that everybody's paid to actually get in, so that there's a correct number of people for the correct number of tickets they have.
What was your favorite part about working there?
I would say that was my favorite part, of knowing that I get to work with people I like and actually make money, because the job itself I liked it, because it would also have benefits too, where you could also come and see a movie with a friend or something. So that made it even more of a plus. But they actually work around my schedule, so it's easier for me to have this job that works around my schedule, work with people I like, and be in a nice, friendly, family-friendly environment. So that's what I like about it.
How would you describe the application and interview process?
The application process, when I went through it, I heard that they were hiring, so I went in to ask if I have an application and when's like the next time they would be hiring. And this was like October of 2009, and told me they would be hiring in November. So I filled out the application, and I would once a week I would actually call to check on it, because I really wanted to get the job at the time. And so I'd check on it, go stop by in and see what's my application status. Then the last week of last week of October, they called and gave me an interview time to come on through. So I went in, asked me some questions about different things about a movie theater, or about my personal questions about myself, like my interest and things that I see that I need to work on or develop more, or my strengths and weaknesses. And the interview wasn't that long, so after about another week or so, they called me back, let me know I had gotten the job, and come in and sign the papers and do tax forms and get my bank account set up to do direct deposit from the movie theater. And after that, I started working, I think, like in the next few days. So it wasn't like a long process. Just the longest part was probably, since the time I filled out my application was a little bit before they were hiring, just the wait on that part was about the longest part. But other than that, it went by pretty quick.
What questions did the interviewer ask during the job interview?
They wanted to know more about like who I was as a person. Was I like a people person that could take the daily hassles of working at a movie theater when it gets busy, like dealing with people who may not be so appreciative of being actually to come to the movie, and just have like, because people come in sometimes, they'll have attitudes, maybe because things may be taking a little longer than they expect, or we get a lot of people who come to the movie theater and it's the wrong one, or they don't have the movies that they're supposedly were in the newspaper, and they blame it on us. And so they're just looking for people who actually will be able to take the stress, or actually like a friendly people person and honest people that seem to be around all this money that they can trust, dealing with like different situations in the movie theater, like working with the cash registers, working around the candy items and everything. So they were just looking for like the strengths and weaknesses, to see who you are as a person and how you would do with working with a lot of other people.
What other advice would you give to a job seeker looking to get employment?
I'd tell them to make sure that they're always on time. Make sure when they come to their interview, you don't have to fully dress up in a suit and tie, but make sure you're presentable. Make dress pants, dress shoes, nice shirt. so that you're actually interested, and maybe it's not like something that you were forced to do and you really don't want to do, and show up in like jeans and t-shirt or something. It may not, you may still get the job, but it actually shows that you're more presentable and like you actually care about getting this job when you show up and you look nice. And just make sure that when you're there, you're not like there just because a lot of people may get the jobs because they know some people, but actually show that you're not just going to sit around and talk to your friends while you're at the job if you work with them, but show that you're actually going to do work and get things done. And then other than that, just try not to, if you maybe, even if you do have like personal problems with people, just try not to let that come across and work on that so that you're actually be able to get the job and they'll see that you'll be a good candidate for the job.